Now, of course, myself, a bit of a dilemma today. I've made that classic American fairground food, the cream puff. But how do you eat these things? They're just huge. I'm going to get it all over me. Well, I will answer that at the end of the show. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to make them. We start off with a simple choux pastry. Now I'm making enough here for 6 puffs. I've got 3/4 cup of water, about 180 mils into a saucepan. I've got 85 grams, that's 3 ounces of lightly salted butter. And I've just cut it up into little cubes. It'll just let it melt much quicker. 3/4 teaspoon of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We take this over to our stove and I just want to heat it up until the butter has just melted, no more than that. Now, the moment the last little bit of butter melts, I'm going to take 100 grams, 3.5 ounces of all-purpose flour, drop it into the liquid, and then using a spoon, it's going to look lumpy at first, I'm just going to mix this together until it starts to form into a smooth texture. Now, I've still got this on a medium heat. You'll see that the dough starts to clump and pull away from the side of the saucepan. I don't want to overheat this, so I'm going to take this off the heat now. Now, rather than leave it in the saucepan, I'm going to put this into a glass bowl, and that'll just help the dough cool down. And I'm going to spread the batter out thin against the sides of the bowl, just to encourage it to cool down. Now, while the batter cools down, get your oven on to 200 degrees Celsius, that's 400 degrees Fahrenheit, because we're not going to be long now before we'll be cooking these. Our dough has cooled down. It's still actually a little bit warm, but it won't cook our eggs. I need to add 3 eggs into this, 1 at a time. It'll feel as if they don't want to mix in, but just keep mixing. Trust me, it'll eventually come together as a smooth batter. We can now add in our 2nd egg. And again, we're just going to mix. The final egg. This time I'm going to mix until I get a fairly smooth batter. So we're looking for something a little bit like that. And the whole lot then goes into a pastry bag, not the bowl and spoon, of course. Now cut a hole in the end of your bag at least 3/4 inch wide. I've got some baking paper on a tray. I've just stuck it down with a little bit of butter. And what we're going to do is just get our piping bag, and I want a good sized dollop of this beautiful batter on there. Now I've estimated I should get about 6 puffs, and I think that's pretty accurate. Now, if you want a little bit of water on the end of your finger and just push the little spikes down. Now we've got to get those into the hot oven, and we're going to cook these for about 15 minutes and then they'll be fully developed. I'm going to drop the temperature down then to 180 degrees Celsius, about 350 Fahrenheit, and we're going to let them cook for another 20 minutes so the choux pastries or these beautiful puffs just dry out completely. So while the pastries are cooking, I'm going to make that delicious sweet whipping cream. I've got myself here about 1.5 cups of thick whipping cream in a bowl. I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a couple of tablespoons of powdered sugar, and we're just going to whisk this up until we've got lovely thick whipped cream. Thick till it's firm, but not till it's butter. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to put this into a piping bag now so it's ready for when the choux pastries come out the oven. They look gorgeous, but quickly, a pro tip, because Michelle and I were looking for camera angles when we were going to put them in the oven, I let my batter settle down a bit. Now, you will get more height if you get these in the oven quickly, so don't hang about, get them in. Fortunately, I've some that I baked earlier today. They've still got a little spike on the top, but they've risen beautifully. When the puffs have cooled down, just get yourself a bread knife, and we're going to cut these in half. And when they open up, they should have a beautiful hollow inside like that. And now we can grab our cream. I'm going to start in the center. I'm going to whiz around. I want lots and lots of cream in here. Let's bring it up nice and high. Do you think that's enough? And we pop our lid on top. How beautiful is that? Sprinkle over the top with a liberal amount of powdered sugar. Now, I asked you at the beginning of the show, how are you going to tackle a cream puff? Do you go straight for the bite and it oozes out? Do you lick around the edges? Any way you go with this, it's going to taste delicious. I think I'm going to go with the lick. Oh, man. That just sort of lessens the impact, and then in with a bite. Wow. Now I can see why this is so popular at the fairgrounds. These are So delicious and really not that difficult to make. I urge you to give them a try. I hope you're enjoying the Fairground series. Give it the thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. Be good. And we'll see you for some more fun in Steve's Kitchen very shortly. Take care.